All right, everybody. This is kind of an interesting video. You may want to see it, you may not. So I've had probably half a dozen people actually send me emails asking me to kind of walk them through some of the stuff in my office. As you can probably tell, I've got a lot of memorabilia in here, sports, entertainment memorabilia. So they asked me to kind of walk it through. So I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough for those people who are interested. So here we go. Okay. So let's see here. Up on the wall, you can see all sorts of goofy stuff. Went to the Super Bowl, went to the NBA Finals, the final game actually of that. Went to the final game of the World Series. Went across the country to actually go run with the Bulls. That was kind of an interesting experience, which I'm not sure I would actually do again. But so this piece here is a replica Heisman Trophy from Ricky Williams. There was only 11 of them made. He kept one of them. And so I was able to pick one of those up, which I think is pretty cool. These two things here are, even though you can't see them, one is a signed race helmet from Richard Petty. The other one is from Jackie Stewart, famous for his broadcasts on ABC Sports during the Indy 500. Up here, this is what? Who is this? I can't even remember who this is. Ooh, let's see. Those are my best friends, by the way, right there. They'll love being on this video, I'm sure. Oh, this one is, Robinson. So this is kind of a cool glove from him. This here is a signed soccer ball from Pele. Again, we're doing this all just kind of ad hoc here, so bear with the video. This one here is kind of interesting. This is a signed jet of the jet that did the Mach 2, first Mach 2 by Chuck Yeager, which is kind of cool. Here, a shoe signed by the great Brett Favre. Here is a boxing shoe signed by Sugar Ray Leonard. And then you'll see there's a whole bunch of other stuff here. Let's see if we can get down here to, whoops. So this is the Iron Man little symbol thing signed by Stan Lee. You can kind of see Stan there signing that. This one's kind of cool too, although it's a little kind of scary. But this is a signed Wolverine claw that he did. And so, you know, you can put that on and slice and dice and do all that kind of stuff. So I was a big Stan Lee fan. Then, and then of course my great late father, fantastic gentleman. Then you kind of go through this. There's a bunch of footballs. Freddie Fuqua, you've got Steve Young, you've got Don Shula, who just recently passed from the Miami Dolphins, the only team that went 17-0. Then all the Mannings, signed football from them as well, which is kind of cool. And by the way, this is just one small portion of my collection. The rest of it's in storage. So it's this is maybe 75% of it. So, or excuse me, maybe 25 or 40% of it. Let's call it 40%. Okay, so here went to the NCAA final when Wichita State, my alma mater, was playing out of Atlanta. Went to a Formula One race up in Austin in 2013. That was really cool too. Then, and this is one that I guess everybody kind of is interested in a lot of, is are these guitars. So started collecting guitars, and one thing you'll notice with this entire collection is it tends to be people that are really iconic. I don't just collect stuff, right? I mean, I collect iconic people. So we'll kind of go through this. That's a signed guitar by Bono. This one's by Chuck Berry. You can see that was kind of cool. They did the airbrush that. This is one by the great B.B. King. Les Paul, the inventor of the electric guitar. That's his Sunbeam Epiphone, which is neat. This one here is, which is really kind of, I really like this one. It's Aretha Franklin. And then this one here, oh God, well, I'll come back to that one. This one is Willie Nelson. So again, you can see a lot of iconic folks that have had a big impact on you know, the entertainment world itself. You kind of go up here, you start to see some different things. This is a signed helmet by the guy who played Darth Vader. These are signed boxing gloves by Smokin' Joe Frazier and Larry Holmes. And then the one right back there, which you probably can't see real well, is Muhammad Ali, which is always kind of neat. I mean, the late, great Muhammad Ali. Let's see here. Let's go around here. Oh, this is cool. This is a signed lightsaber replica by Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker. And so that's kind of cool. Let's go back over here. Oh, I'll take a look at some of these jerseys here. Now, I've got a crap load of jerseys. Quarterbacks of the Century jersey. And this depends upon your football team, but this is what they say are the quarterbacks of the century: John Elway, Dan Marino, down number 16, number 13. Then you've got Johnny Unitas, and then that Joe Montana guy out of San Francisco. And let's see here. Then you have the Dallas Doomsday Defense. I'm not going to go through all of them, but this was the famous, well-known Doomsday Defense in its day. Very cool. And then, for those Steeler fans, the Steel Curtain, and who those guys were, which also is really kind of cool. Then you kind of look over here, and you see all sorts of kind of bizarre things. This is a lot of bats, etc. This is one from Gordie Howe, a hockey stick. We'll put that there. Johnny Bench from Cincinnati. This I won't take out, but this is a signed golf club by Lee Trevino. This one here, oh, this one is really cool. I'm going to stop for a second and show this one. So this one is probably one of my prized possessions. This is a signed bat by kind of the greats of the Negro League. Great baseball players from the Negro League. You see there, Buck Leonard is on there. This is, man, you talk about a piece of history, and you talk about baseball players that were absolutely insanely gifted and incredible baseball players. This is these guys. It's unfortunate that they were not able to play in the major league. They would have dominated, frankly, Major League Baseball at that point in time. They definitely would have. But this is one of my prized possessions because most of these folks have passed on, and I have a real soft part of my existence that I really love this bat. Let's see here. Who else we got hanging around here? Oh, Mark McGuire. You've got. Oh gosh, this is the Cooperstown bat that I was able to get from. Let's see, this was Ernie Banks, the late great Ernie Banks, incredible guy. I won't go through all the rest of the. Let's see here, nothing, I guess. Whatever. Okay, so then we'll go into a couple of really cool jerseys as well. Again, I've got lots of jerseys. I'm only showing you part of them. This, for those who recall or have seen the play-by-play by Al Michaels in the 1980 Winter Olympics. This is a signed jersey by the entire 1980 Olympic hockey team. The only one that it doesn't have is Herb Brooks' signature. I have that on a photo of him, but this is really a neat piece of history. And again, I think if you take a look and you kind of are really looking at all of this stuff from the eyes of history, these are people that really changed sports history, entertainment history, movie memorabilia or movie history. They really are the people that changed a lot of things out there, that really had an iconic view of things. Okay, so here, one of my favorites as well, Evel Knievel. The guy that would ride the Harley Davidson motorcycles and do all the jumping across buses and did the Snake River thing with that rocket that didn't turn out so well. This is a signed cape I've always wanted to wear this cape and drive down the street on a motorcycle, but I think that my neighbors would probably put me in the loony bin. Okay, so there's that. Now we'll go here and we're going to talk about, show just a little bit about some of these jerseys. Okay, the late great, or not the late great because he's still alive, but George the Iceman Gervin. The Human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins. This is one, you can't see it because he's signed right here, but this is Scottie Pippen from the Bulls. This one is, I think, oh, this is Reggie White. Yeah, this is a signed Reggie White jersey. And this one is real special to me as well. And then again, you've got Arnold Palmer, the Master. You got the other Master. If you don't know who that is, then Hakeem, the Dream, Olajuwon. That's kind of a cool jersey. It's all got all this stuff on there, but that's signed by Hakeem. Earl Campbell, for those from the University of Texas and the Oiler fans. You've got Terry Bradshaw, the sports commentator, but great Steeler. Let's see here. Who else? Larry Bird. Oh, I'm a huge Larry Bird fan. Probably my favorite sports player of all time. Thomas Hitman Hearns, the great fighter, Hitman Hearns. If you haven't ever watched some of his fights, you should watch them. They are insanely good. Kenny Stabler, the Snake from Oakland. And then for those who are in the advertising industry, perhaps one of the greatest icons of all advertisements is Mean Joe Green from the Coca-Cola commercial. That's a jersey signed by Joe. Elvin Hayes from the Washington Bullets. Also pretty cool. Then you've got Paul Hornung from the Green Bay Packers. Considered actually to be one of the best defensive players of all times. The Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr. from the Orioles. Oh, cool guy. And then that guy who wore that crazy beard and crazy hair, who played for UCLA and for the Lakers at one point, Bill Walton. And then Joe Willie Namath. You have to have that in your collection. And then this is kind of a fun one. Ricky Vaughn from the Major League films. This is signed by Charlie Sheen. I also happen to have the one from Tom Berenger, who played the catcher, and then from the guy who played shortstop as well, but I didn't bring those out. Stan Musial from St. Louis. The late, great Stan Musial. Okay, real quickly here. Let's see here. Go like this. This is one that's signed by Fran Tarkington. Another album that was actually signed by B.B. King, which is kind of cool. This one is from Jim Plunkett from Oakland. Another Joe Namath piece, helmet from Joe. Jim Brown, Hall of Fame 71 from Cleveland. Oh, fantastic, gentlemen. Then you look here, a couple Miami guys, Larry Zonka. If you were growing up when I did, you had the Larry Zonka poster in your room of him. I think he was playing Washington. Bob Greasy, the great quarterback. Len Dawson from Kansas City, my Kansas City Chiefs, my favorite team. We happened to win the NFL championship this year. If you didn't know, I'll just make that noted. Let's see. Oh, this was Roger Staubach from America's team, Dallas. This is kind of cool too. Jeff Gordon from NASCAR, and you'll notice great branding, Panasonic, Tough Books. Talked about that on a video or so before. You take a look at this one. That's Jimmy Johnson, who's won 8 championships for his team in NASCAR. Again, great branding. Lowe's, real well done. Let's see who we got here. Oh, Bart Starr, the late Bart Starr, just recently passed away, I think in the last year. Just incredible gentleman. Oh, Dick Butkus. Oh, and Gale Sayers. from University of Kansas, up where I used to live. Then you've got, oh, let's see here. You got Joe DiMaggio back here. You've got, down there is what, Mickey Mantle and somebody else. Ted Williams are down there. So that's kind of cool as well. Let's see. I think that's pretty much probably about it. Oh, I know. There's one other thing. Over here, you can see signed piece by the great NASCAR driver A.J. Foyt, and Indy. Certainly drove for Indy and was very successful there. So that's kind of it. Kind of a look at the old room here, and hopefully you've enjoyed that. Again, there's a whole bunch more stuff, but it's a passion point for mine. I appreciate those people that were interested in taking a look at it. Thanks. Bye.